Hey, what's up there? Michael here, live from beautiful Prospect Park in Brooklyn. It's hard to believe it, but it's actually October 15th. And I mean, if you can see, it's just an unreal, gorgeous day today. So, good friend Stiletto and I decided to come out for a nice little ride. There's a couple things I wanted to talk about today, just really quickly, nothing major. But the focus for today is going to be, what is a recovery ride? Recovery ride is one of those terms that definitely gets used a lot. A lot of people go for them. Everyone has heard of it. That's training to be a cyclist or a triathlete. And I want to give a little definition to what a recovery ride can be, right? So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. While we're out here enjoying this beautiful weather, I might get hit by a crab apple. They're falling all over me, so I'll just keep my heads up for right now and got the trusty old helmet on. Anyways, to get started, the reason why I came out here to Tuesday, had a very big weekend, a lot of racing, very athletic weekend. Crushed ourselves in a 10K on Saturday, and then went back on Sunday and did a nice duathlon just to get some more race experience, just to toe that line a little bit. Came away with some good results there, but obviously came away also pretty drained physiologically, and just, my energy was pretty low Monday and today, but I got some good swim work in just to recover, a little bit of strength training and swimming today, and just wanted to get back on the bike. And it's my goal really for this off season to progress as a cyclist in the sport of triathlon. And one thing I learned during the first half Ironman I did this year was the real demand it takes to be good on the bike and have your run coming off the bike. It's one thing to do a lot of running off the bike in training, but getting into that race environment and putting in a good 2.5 hour ride and then coming in with a half marathon, I just didn't feel like I had my run with me. Even though I had been feeling good in training, I felt great. I just think I need to get a little more strength on the bike so that when I come off, I'm not completely destroyed. So it's a big deal for me to get in these extra sessions this year. I'm not just going to stop bike riding because it's the off season. I want to keep pushing that progression. So today was a recovery ride. All it was really 60 minutes of being on the bike. And where I think the focus can be lost a little bit on a recovery ride is that people might just say, well, 60 minutes riding around in circles, that can be kind of boring. And I would be lying if I said I was stoked for every single 60-minute recovery ride I went out and did. Some days I just am tired. That's kind of the point. You're on those days where you're energetically just a little bit low. But I think about a couple things in going into these rides that I think can help people out and give them a focus to walk away from a good recovery session and feel like they got something really accomplished there. And that's, I think, a big deal in getting better. All right, so 60 minutes today. One thing that I start out when thinking about is just really building into a good warm-up. I talk about warm-ups nonstop, whether it's running, strength, pool work, or just nonstop warm-ups. So today, I really just let myself be for 15 to 20 minutes warming up. I put on my iPhone. Oops, there's those apples. I put on my iPhone in my little fuel belt here, pumped some jams, just allowed myself to wake up a little bit. Put on some kind of energetic music so that I had my RPMs going. I wanted to put it in a low gear, let my legs spin a little bit, and just work on really being supple and loose in the bike pedal, right, in the seat. So one thing I think that happens a little too much with putting in some harder bike sessions is that you really start to develop some tension in your hips and in your core and in your shoulders when you're on that bike. So to spend 15 to 20 minutes just really focusing on being loose in your hips and in your ankles and tight in the trunk, tight in the core and the shoulders, but still kind of supple, I think is a big deal. So I was really focused on just loosening up the ankles, loosening up the hips, letting the things flow, but at the same time, keeping constant tension on the chain. You know, that is really a big focus of these recovery rides, is though I'm keeping in a lower gear, and though I'm just allowing my legs to develop some higher RPMs, I'm just always making sure I'm not skipping any links on this chain here. I want all that chain to feel pressure from my legs, right? Because it just wouldn't make sense to come out here, open up with some crazy RPM, and not really have any tension, because it's just teaching you a bad habit. You know, what you have to really think about is sacrificing some speed, sacrifice a couple miles an hour to drop the gears and just keep tension moving on that chain. So for that 15 to 20 warm-up minutes, I was really not moving all that fast, but I felt really good, felt loose, and then all of a sudden, 20 minutes in, I really feel like I can maybe add a gear, add a couple gears, and start working on some other things. All right? So what are the other things that you work on? In my mind, I'm really trying to work on thinking about a pedal stroke. What is important in a pedal stroke, and how should it feel? You know. So one thing I was really focused on for pretty much the rest of that ride is just feeling that foot placement at the bottom of your pedal stroke. I think one thing that I try to do too often, and it's a bad habit of mine, is I try to keep my toe pointed down the whole time, and that's not good. And I've actually learned this recently, been helped by a couple good coaches, and listened to a couple good coaches on how a pedal stroke should look. If my feet are down the whole time and I'm doing this, then think about what's happening at my Achilles tendon and my calf, right? It's like, locked in place. And how is that going to help me come off the bike and run with some loose ankles? It's absolutely not. It's going to probably destroy it, if anything. So what I'm trying to do now is focus on that pointed downwards, but then letting that foot flatten out and coming through like a platform shifting the pedal forwards. And then when it's at the bottom there, I can really feel like I'm getting that mechanical pulling action. So platform forward and then pulling, like I'm scraping the pedal off of the bottom of my foot. Like I got that gum on the bottom of my foot. That gum is the pedal, and I'm trying to scrape it right off there. So the whole time I'm really just not caring, unplugging a little bit, unplug from the heart rate monitor, unplug from the speed, and just allow yourself to focus on that good loose pedal stroke, right? By loose, of course, I mean keeping tension, but feeling loose in your body and your hips, right? The one last thing that I was really focused on today, and I think is useful in one of these recovery sessions, is how your body fits to your bike. You know, everyone hopefully has some kind of decent bike fitting, and that's very important to preventing any overuse or repetitive stress injuries. But also you need to think about, in becoming a good cyclist, how do you sit on the bike? Because that can be changed pretty much infinitely, right? Just by shifting on the seat. Where are you on the seat? Where are your hands here? Where are your shoulders? Where's your neck? Where's your head? And what you need to think about is, you can probably sit 1,000 different ways on this bike. What's going to be the way that is most effective for what you're trying to do? Okay? So today what I was really trying to do is just find that really comfortable aerodynamic position. I was really practicing and almost doing reps of being upright and just feeling my legs in the pedal stroke, then down into the aero position, and just trying to feel really comfortable there. One thing that stuck out to me a lot in doing a half Ironman was how challenging it can really be, and it's true, how challenging it can really be to ride for over 2 hours in an aerodynamic position. Absolutely a real challenge, and it's something that you need to practice, without a doubt. You can't just go into every single high power interval session, get into your aero position and feel like you're absolutely comfortable, because in my mind you're doing something wrong then. if you want to become a better cyclist, if you want to become a better triathlete, you have to practice being in those good positions, not at full bore, right? So today, it's a little bit of an alternation, practicing the pedal stroke, practicing the aero position. Keep my body tight, keep my head low, eyes up, and looking where I'm going, looking at the road, looking at the undulations, seeing how I can maybe shave a few feet off of a corner. How can I shave a few feet off of a turn and maybe shave a few seconds off of each mile? Those types of things will help you become a better cyclist and will help you become a better triathlete and get off the bike feeling like you can put in a better run. And ultimately, that's my goal. All right? Always got something to work on. Always got little things to keep you going better. And even on a day where I'm spending 60 minutes just getting my body to recover, I really feel like I came away with a great focused session, and I feel like a better cyclist today. It's very true. So do what you can to keep it moving and keep it flying, of course. Signing off, Michael from Prospect Park. Hope you all are having a great day.